This program targets extensions to the Mons Capri deposit and will target new VMS discoveries. How do you categorise the Whim Creek resource growth potential, and how does it fit into the broader Whim Creek strategy?
So we've always been primarily focused on the development of the asset that we acquired at Whim Creek, knowing full well that there's fantastic exploration upside, but we haven't previously been in a position to do both the exploration and the development activities in parallel. That all changed this year, and so I categorise the exploration as very important. It is obviously our primary growth opportunity. It will occur in parallel with the ongoing development, and it will also occur in parallel with our consolidation strategy. So we effectively have two growth paths which support the fundamental development of the Whim Creek asset.
Historical intercepts like 80 metres at 1.95% copper and 63 metres at 1.91% copper show the quality of this system. What excites you about testing extensions to that mineralisation? And what does it say about the wider BHMS potential across Whim Creek?
So we were always drawn to the Whim Creek Project because of the high-grade nature of the resources that were there when we acquired it. And I think when we go back now and we have a look at some of these intercepts, it's just a reminder to us, and it should be a reminder to everyone else, just of the quality of the resources that we've got there. You've got these thick, massive sulfide intercepts that are all open pittable at this stage, but they're high grade. And so I think it's really exciting, the opportunity now to really look further. These grades would certainly be supported in an underground mine as well. So if we're successful with the exploration, which we certainly expect we will be, the upside opportunity is huge. So I think when you do look at the quality of the resource that we've got at Mons Capri and at Whim Creek, it is just a reminder of what we've got ahead of us. The near-term development is significantly de-risked by these fantastic thick layers, the massive sulfides that we've got within the resources.
Nick, with more than 25 years in exploration strategy and resource growth, what drew you to join Anax? And what is it about the Whim Creek camp that makes it stand out as an exploration opportunity?
The Whim Creek camp is another brownfields opportunity which hasn't seen a lot of exploration focus probably over the last 20-25 years. And it's really a function of who's owned that project at the time, market conditions, a whole host of reasons. And so when I had an opportunity to look at that project and review some of the exploration potential, it became pretty clear that not much drilling had occurred. And a lot of that drilling was quite historical, dating back to the 1960s. So the quality of the data wasn't necessarily the same standard would hold it today. And as soon as you sort of step off the resources themselves, the drilling basically evaporates. So it opened up quite a large opportunity quite right there to start throwing some more modern techniques, being a bit more bolder with the drilling strategy. And that's how you make discoveries. The first stop was looking at Mons Capri. It's 54% of the current resource base and part of the life of mine. And it's quite obvious that it's not closed off at depth. As discussed, the intercepts are thick, high grade, and these VMS camps, they usually occur in lenses. There's opportunities there to test immediate extensions, plus make new discoveries. And one of the other things that became quite clear was very limited downhole EM was conducted over that drilling as well. So with a decent budget, and a decent budget is required to systematically test these deposits, we've embarked on quite a large and ambitious drilling strategy.
What can shareholders expect from the systematic exploration campaign you're leading over the coming months?
Drilling assays will commence probably in late August. We'll have a number of holes in the deposit by then. So in the background, while the drilling is being conducted, we are also looking at project-wide review of all of our data sets, geophysical, geochemical. We're going to apply some new technology to some of the compiled units as well, and look at all of the targets we can generate. So the process itself will be dynamic. As new targets are generated, they'll be ranked. While we've got a rig on site, we'll look at shifting the rig to that focus as required. And also mid-program, we'll be conducting our first downhole EM survey to see if there's any off-hole conductors. Now, obviously, having a decent-sized exploration budget, we can pivot as required. And if we see something worth targeting, then the rig's already on site to test it.
In the immediate term, the recent capital raise helps fund this 18-hole, 5,000-metre program. Outside of exploration activities, how is ANX progressing Whim Creek financing and offtake discussions alongside drilling?
The development of the asset continues to be our key focus, and funding is obviously the next important milestone for us. And I'm very pleased to report that that's progressing extremely well. We find ourselves in a fantastic space, really. In the copper markets have really risen significantly, and we're finding that the off-takers are extremely hungry. I think they were previously, but that's changed in the last sort of 6 to 12 months. We're finding there's significant competition for near-term offtake, and that's good for people that are looking to fund projects through offtake. I can say that within the next few months, we expect that we will be able to provide some news on the funding, the offtake, and that'll be a pivot point for us in terms of our development process. So it's all very exciting. This year we've seen a dramatic change in the focus on our asset.